Hi and hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Neema and this is Here is Neema, where we talk about all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, feminine essence, feminine energy, self-love, and development. So if any of that is up your alley, definitely make sure to like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for all that is to come. I have been in the process of creating this cycle syncing series. We are cycle syncing our lives, okay? I am in the process of, and will always be in the process of, kind of just trying to find the best way to do this for the current season of life that I'm in. Menstruation is kind of the meat and potatoes of the menstrual cycle. This is the period of time, that's why we call it the period, right? This is the period of time when your uterine lining is shedding. Okay, I have already made videos actually for the follicular phase and the luteal phase. I will link them down below. So if you're interested in learning more about that and kind of seeing how you can cycle sync your life specifically in those phases, definitely make sure to check those out. But in this video, we are diving in deep into the menstruation phase of our cycle. Now, a lot of people feel that this is actually, like I said before, the meat and potatoes, which, I mean, to a degree, you know, this is a very significant portion of our cycle. All of it is. This is the one that it does stand out the most, of course, because we are bleeding during this time. So shedding is kind of like a really nice way of just saying you are bleeding out, you know, you are releasing that uterine lining. So, you know, as girls, I feel like a lot of us kind of just, we learned about our periods, and again, we call it a period because this is the period of time, you know, where if there's no pregnancy, if no pregnancy has occurred, you know, our body is constantly in a state of basically preparing for pregnancy. I spoke more about that in some of my previous videos. And so when that pregnancy, you know, that month there is no pregnancy, or that after that 28-day cycle there is no pregnancy, you are shedding your uterine lining, you are menstruating, you are having a period, okay? And so this is really fascinating to me now that I have really kind of dove in deep to start cycle syncing my life. I did not know this. I feel like most girls do not know this growing up when we're learning about, you know, our period, and we're learning about, you know, what is going to change. Our bodies are changing. We're going through puberty, this, that, and the third. And I'll tell you guys this, I was 12 years old when I got my first period, okay? And I was a weird kid. Okay, I was weird. You really just wanted to grow up fast, I think. I was so excited, you know, for all that was to come, just everything about, you know, womanhood and, you know, developing and, you know, growing into just kind of like my grown woman body and all of that. Like, I was here for it. I was into it. I wanted to know everything there was to know about periods. I would read about it. I would watch videos about what to do, you know, on YouTube, just like, you know, what are the symptoms. I was just ready. I wanted to experience it, and I wanted to prepare myself for that period of time. Period. Gonna keep using that word in this video, y'all. And I wanted to prepare myself for that time because I think really I just wanted to grow up fast, and, you know, I was just excited. And, you know, I think it's funny because I was probably the most weirdly excited person and girl that I knew that was, you know, my age, because you know, all of the other girls that were my friends and we, you know, or, you know, went to school with, kind of all just, you know, talked down about it, was like not excited for it, was scared about it maybe, just kind of saw it as like this cumbersome thing, which, you know, for a lot of women, this is a really cumbersome time. You know, there's a lot of really nasty side effects that can occur. And I know that we all, I mean, if you're watching this video, you have experienced things. I have experienced things. I knew of women that, you know, had such bad periods to where they would literally be sick, like throwing up sick. And this is a period of time where you are going to start to feel very, your energy is drained, you're very tired, your body is doing a lot during this time. And, also hormonally, our emotions all over the place, right? Especially right before your period. We did talk about this in the luteal phase video. So right before your period, we all kind of know the term PMS, right? It can be a very just sensitive time for us where our emotions are a lot more at a heightened state. And it's just really, really important to pay attention to your body during that time and during the menstrual phase, really during all the phases, but especially during this time, because you are kind of your life is kind of being you know I'm not going to say disrupted, but I guess your day-to-day functionings can be disrupted to a degree if you are not cycle syncing your life. But let me tell you this part. When you start to cycle sync your life and you know when you're going to be having your period and you prepare for the menstruation phase, I don't know, like y'all, since I have started cycle syncing my life, I actually look forward to my period because that is the time in the month where I give myself the leeway and the freedom and like that rest period where I literally don't do anything for those 4 to 5 days that I'm bleeding. I don't do anything but whatever, like just rest basically. I don't force myself to do anything. If I have an appointment scheduled, which I try not to schedule them during that time, this is a part of cycle syncing your life, I will reschedule. If of course I do work full time, so if you do work full time, obviously you may or may not be able to take time off of work during that period of time. If you're lucky enough to get it on the weekends, I know for me, these past couple of weeks, things have kind of shifted. There was a point in time where I was always, every month for a couple of months, I was getting my period on a weekend every single time, and it was glorious because for me, those first 2 days are really, really, they're tough. Physically, they're tough for me. I do get tired a lot easier, and I am sleeping more. And again, your body is going through a lot during this time as you shed the uterine lining. And, this is a 3 to 7 day period for most women. I do have notes down here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I know that for me, it's usually, like I mentioned, 4 to 5 days, and I don't allow myself to do anything, that isn't absolutely necessary. So yes, if you are working and you do need to go to work, but, give yourself a break. Let yourself give yourself a break more often throughout the day. Sit down, make a conscious effort to like sit down when you need to. If you're somebody who works kind of like on your feet and on the go, take it slow. Don't be in a rush to do this and a rush to do that. Don't let people put that pressure on you in general, but especially during this time. Drink plenty of water, eat well, and just, take care of yourself. And after work, don't stress about the laundry. Don't stress about dinner. If you're really, really good, you can actually pre-plan your meals. That way, you don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat for lunch, what I'm going to eat for dinner, etc., because you know that that's already planned for. Okay, doesn't mean that you have to be eating salads and, drinking water. I will definitely have a glass of wine on my period. I will absolutely eat my chocolate. I love dark chocolate. One thing about me, y'all, I am a dark chocolate kind of girl. Gotta have me a little piece or two of chocolate at the end of every day. And I'm not joking, but, a little bit every day, and it's good for you. So, especially on your period, okay? So, I will definitely enjoy, rich foods. I try to keep it healthy for the most part, but if I really want to eat something, I will allow myself to eat that, so I feel like just having that balance, letting yourself just make sure that you get a lot of rest when you do come home from work. If you are working, if you are not working, making sure that, especially on those first couple of days where your period is the heaviest, become a recluse, okay? take this time to just go inwards, journal, meditate, take time to watch a sappy movie. That's what I did this time on my period. I actually watched The Bridges of Madison County on Netflix, and oh my God, you guys, if you are looking for a tearjerker, romance, tearjerker, just like, oh, one of those movies. You know what I mean, ladies? Like, you know what I mean. Like, one of those, like, just romance, just storyline, everything on point. Meryl Streep back in the 90s. Go give it a watch. It was fantastic. But I just enjoyed a night alone. Watched my movie, drank my wine, ate my popcorn, and I had a fabulous, fabulous time. And not that you have to wait till you're on your period to do this. You can do this anytime. But especially when you are bleeding, taking that time and not being out and about and doing things and just kind of taking a moment to be at home, take your bubble bath, right? You just be home, just be with yourself. You don't even have to be doing anything. You can literally just be like Netflix and chilling, but just taking that time to let your body rest. Try not to exert yourself during this time. For me personally, during my menstrual cycle, I don't work out at all. I am on my feet all day, usually at work. These couple of weeks, or not weeks, these last few months, I have been working on my period, and I will tell you that it's not ideal. I feel like if we were really going to, do something to help women in the workforce for women's rights, it would be menstrual leave because, yeah. Of course, that doesn't really help for capitalism, I suppose. Doesn't support that agenda. However, I feel that honestly, that would be one of the best things that would benefit all women because, those first couple of days, no matter what age you are, unless, you've hit menopause, but if you haven't hit menopause, which is a vast, vast, vast number of women, that are working, those 2 days, especially those first 2 to 3 days, are the hardest on you, on your body, when you are having to go to work and also produce on top of that. Emotionally, physically, it's draining. I feel like it would be awesome if menstrual leave was actually a thing every month. But with that being said, if you are able to, take the day off, or, do a half day, come in early, leave late, or not in come in early, come in late or leave early. Maybe if you're able to work from home, that would be a really great option for you during this time. Definitely take advantage of that, ladies. There is absolutely no need to exert yourself during this time more than you need to. Okay? Yes, of course, we need to get out of bed. We need to take a shower. We need to do all those things. But do not put the pressure on yourself to continue to perform like you maybe would during a different phase in your cycle when your body is not bleeding, essentially. Give yourself that grace, give yourself that time. A couple of other things I want to make sure that I let you guys know, all of the things in my notes. A couple of other things that women tend to experience during the menstrual phase. Tender breast, bloating, fluid retention, muscle aches, joint pain, diarrhea or constipation, headaches. Okay, I suffer from that. I always, actually, I have to say, I have always gotten headaches right before the day before my period, but I will say this, these last couple of months, they've stopped. And and it's funny because I didn't think about that until filming this video, but I think that cycle syncing has actually helped with that. So headaches, that's very common. I usually experience those, haven't so much lately. So let's go ahead and say cycle syncing helps with all of these. Okay. Acne, abdominal cramps, and of course, low energy, fatigue, and trouble sleeping. So for me, I actually usually sleep more when I'm on my period. I do not have trouble sleeping. And I would say that, these are really common that women experience. Most women do experience these, and to varying degrees. But there are some women that have some serious, serious pain during this time. I would honestly say that if you are experiencing extreme pain or discomfort during your menstrual cycle, before you go and see the doctor, okay, because I'm sorry, but you can get on birth control. I don't recommend it. I don't feel that, if you are a woman who wants to live in your authenticity, in your womanhood fully, and embrace who you were created to be and your body in its, most authentic space and form, especially if you are on a journey to just that along with, also wanting to live predominantly in your feminine and just be the healthiest and best version of yourself. I feel that birth control is not going to be for you. Hormonal birth control is not for you. And if you do some research, you can definitely find some non-hormonal birth control methods. Okay, I would say nothing that you have to ingest and nothing that you have to put inside of your body. There's a lot of horror stories out there. I know that there's some success stories too, but this is my personal opinion, take it or leave it. I do not feel that hormonal birth control will aid in this process. Yes, it may alleviate some of these symptoms, but I'm much, much more of a proponent of healing yourself naturally by starting to cycle sync and understand that the pain and discomfort that you are feeling during this time, it is not coming out of nowhere. Okay, it is not coming out of nowhere. I would highly, highly recommend, especially if you are experiencing fibroids, cysts, anything like that in our kind of like our womb space area, any of those ailments. I would suggest starting your inner work journey and starting on your process to just learning about feminine energy and living your life more predominantly in a feminine energy space. It is going to really help a lot to aid that. And honestly, there are plenty of women out here who have healed themselves completely. So you are most likely not living an aligned life, and so much so to the point where you have literally put your body in this state of, creating these ailments and this discomfort and this pain because you are not living in alignment. And it is mental and it is spiritual and it is emotional. It is, it is not a physical thing. This is internal. And this is not something that can be fixed by taking a pill or simply changing your diet. This is something that needs to be fixed from the inside. Okay? Inner work, feminine energy work. That's all I have to say, okay? Changing my life all the time, and it's one of the best things that I've ever discovered, and it's one of the best things that I've ever implemented into my life. We are going to continue with the cycle syncing series, guys. Today was menstruation. I hope you enjoyed this video, learning a little bit more about me and menstruation at the same time. And I think the last one that I have to share with you guys is actually ovulation. So that video will be coming soon, and once all of these videos are created, I will definitely keep the playlist on my channel so that you can share and you can come back to it and you can kind of see what kind of just little tidbits and little tips and things like that that you can take with you and implement into your life as you cycle sync your life for a healthier, wealthier, really, health is wealth, just more abundant, more aligned, just overall better existence in this world, in your feminine and as the woman that you were created to be. And I could go off and on a tangent on this. Our bodies are beautiful. They were created the way that they were created for a reason. God is amazing, and you were not meant to stifle, all of your feelings and all of your, menstrual and not even menstrual cycle things, but just, all of the things that you experience in your cycle as a woman down into some box deep down inside your soul and just hustle and continue to grind even though your body is going through something completely different. We live in a very masculine energy kind of a society. Everything is about production. Everything is about capitalism, okay? Women are not encouraged anymore. And I say anymore because, you know, at one point it was not this way. But women are no longer really encouraged to be in their feminine and live a more, you know, cycle synced life, if you will. And, you know, just kind of live a life where we are not constantly, you know, on go, constantly on, constantly, you know, moving and producing and continuing to just produce and produce and produce while our bodies are literally at all times preparing to give life. Okay, that is not an easy process, and that is why we are the way that we are. Okay, everything about our cycles is preparing our body to birth life, okay, at all times. And that was what I was sharing in my luteal phase video, is that I am amazed at the fact that at every single moment my body is going through a phase, or gearing up to go through a phase that is necessary for me to birth life, and is preparing basically for me to become pregnant and birth life. And carry life and birth life. So there's a lot of power in that. So much power. I can't even dive into it in one video. I've already been going for like 21 minutes, so I am going to love you guys and leave you guys with that. Definitely make sure to stay tuned. Ovulation is next, and I'm going to love you and leave you, like I said. Definitely make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!